Now, good morning to all of you. Already in last video, we have seen a kinematic equations or equations of motion in a horizontal direction. Okay, means when a motion is in horizontal direction. Okay, when the motion is horizontal motion, then we have to already see the kinematic equation or equation of motion. Okay, there are three equations. The first equation is v is equal to v naught plus at. Okay, and second equation is x is equal to x naught plus v naught t plus half at square, and third equation is v square is equal to v naught square plus 2a into x minus x naught. Okay, this is the horizontal motion. Horizontal motion means motion along a x axis. Okay, motion along a x axis, this kind of motion is known as horizontal motion. Means the objects can be moved along a x axis, then these are the equations of motion or kinematic equations. Okay, now if the motions are along a vertical directions, okay, then that is vertical motion. Okay, when the motions are vertical motion, now suppose the initially the object is at here and the object moves in that direction. Okay, means moves along a y axis, then in that case, okay, now suppose this is the origin O. Okay, now the object initially is at here, this position is y naught position, initial position is y naught, and this is the final position y. Then at initial position whatever velocity is there, that velocity is v naught y, velocity is v naught y. When it reaches to a final position, then at final position whatever velocity is there, that velocity we have to say as vy, where v naught is the initial position, sorry, y naught is the initial position, y is the final position, v naught y is the initial velocity, vy is the final velocity. And what about the acceleration? Do you know that always the acceleration due to gravity is in the downward direction? Therefore always in vertical motion we have to take acceleration a is equal to minus g. Okay, when the motion is in vertical motion, then we have to take acceleration is equal to minus of g, where g is the acceleration due to gravity. Always in vertical motion we have to take acceleration is equal to minus g, because the acceleration is always in a downward direction, therefore acceleration is equal to minus g we have to take. Then the equation of motion becomes, then the equation of motions, equation of motions. Okay, then what is the equation? V is equal to v naught plus xt. Now here initial velocity is v naught, now the final velocity is v, initial position is x naught, final position is x. Okay, and acceleration is a. Okay, then we have to replace initial velocity v, okay, that final velocity v with vy, that is then equation vy is equal to initial velocity v naught, then what is your initial velocity? V naught y, vy is equal to v naught y. Okay, we have to replace a with minus g into t. Now this is the first equation of motion in vertical direction. Then what is second equation? Replace x with y, replace x with y, therefore y is equal to x naught with y naught, y is equal to y naught plus v naught will be replaced with v naught y minus half, means a can be replaced with minus g, minus half into gt square. Then third kinematic equation, replace v with vy, it is vy square is equal to v naught y square. Okay, a can be replaced with minus g, therefore minus 2g into y minus y naught. Okay, now these are the equations of motion along a vertical directions. Means these are the equations of motion in vertical direction. Now using that equations of motion, we have to solve one problem based on that. Okay, these are the first equation, second equation and third equations. These are the equations of motion along a vertical directions. Okay, now using that we have to solve some. Now example 3.4, a ball is thrown vertically upward with a velocity of 20 meter per second from the top of a multi-story building. The height of the point from where the ball is thrown is 25 meters from the ground. Then we have to find out how high will the ball rise. Second, how long will it be before the ball hits the ground. Means how much time it will take to reach the ground, to hits the ground. Now what they are saying that, okay, one multi-story building is there. Okay, one multi-story building is there. Okay, from the top of that building, okay, from the top of that building, a ball is thrown in a vertically upward directions. Okay, and initial velocity, in that case the initial velocity is v naught, which is 20 meter per second. Okay, and the height of the building is 25 meters from the ground. Means this is the initial position y naught and initial velocity is v naught, and the ball is throwing with the initial velocity in a vertically upward directions. Okay, when the ball is throwing in a vertically upward direction, then it reach to a certain height, then it will fall backs. Okay, it will reach to a certain height, then the ball will be fall back. Okay, when it reach the certain height, now this is the final position y. Okay, at that point when the ball reaches the maximum height, then in that case the velocity, that is final velocity vy, this final velocity becomes 0. Then we have to find out how high will the ball rise. Means we have to find out the distance between this point to this point. Okay, we have to find out distance between this initially from which point the ball is thrown and reach to a final height. Okay, we have to find out this. Means this is final position y and this is the initial position y naught. Means we have to find out y minus y naught. In second case, how long will it be before the ball hits the ground? Means we have to find out the total time taken after the ball is throwing and before it comes to the ground. Means we have to find out the total time taken during this process. Okay, now first write down, we have the given data. A ball is thrown vertically upward with a velocity of 20 meter per second. Means that is initial velocity, that is v naught y is 20 meter per second. Okay, the height of a point from where the ball is thrown, that is y naught. Initial position y naught is 25 meters. Okay, next here final velocity, when the object reaches the maximum height, then in that case that final velocity vy is equal to 0 meter per second and acceleration a is equal to how much? Acceleration a is equal to minus g and this is 10 meter per second. Now acceleration a is equal to minus g and g is a 10 meter per second, therefore minus 10 meter per second square. Okay, now we have to find out, now for this is first case, now we have to find out which quantity, how high will the ball rise. Means we have to find out y minus y naught. We have to find out y minus y naught. Then which equation, which kinematic equation we want to use. Now see here, in first equation y and y naught is present, therefore we can't use the first equation. Okay, in that equation y and y naught is can't present, therefore we can't use this equation. Here y and y naught is present, therefore we have to use this. Or here also y and y naught is present, therefore means either this or this we have to use. But here see, y is here, y naught is here. Now v naught y value is given. Okay, now we have to find out y and y naught, y minus y naught, therefore v naught y is given. G value, acceleration due to gravity value, in that problem is given, but t is also not given. Okay, means t is not given, y and y naught is not given, therefore we can't use this formula. Means there will be two unknowns, y naught means this one quantity, and t is also not given, therefore we can't use this formula. But see here, v of y, final velocity v of y is given, v naught y, this is also given 20 meter per second, and that g value is given, then we have to easily find out y minus y naught. Therefore we have to use this formula, we can't use this kinematic equation. Therefore using kinematic equation, now using kinematic equation, which equation? That is v y square is equal to v naught y square plus 2a y minus y naught. Now put down the value, vy square, v naught y square, a value, then we have to easily find out y minus y naught. Then v naught, that is v of y, vy is 0, therefore 0 square is equal to v naught y square. Okay, what is v naught y? 20, therefore 20 square. Okay, then plus 2 into what is the a, or that is minus 2g, directly we have to write. Okay, 2 into g value is, that is minus g, or directly we have to write here minus 2g. Okay, therefore minus 2 into g value is 10 meter per second. Here g value is already given, g value is 10, therefore or minus g తీసుకుంటే ఇక్కడ plus తీసుకోవాలా. Okay, but if you have to take minus, then directly we have to put g value as 10, therefore minus 2g means here minus 2 into g into y minus y naught, then you have to solve. 0 square is 0 is equal to 20 square is 400 minus 2 into 10 is 20 y minus y naught. Now we have to shift minus 20 y minus y naught to the right, it is become 20 into y minus y naught is equal to 400, therefore y minus y naught is equal to 400 divided by 20. Now 20 ones are 20, 20 is a 400, or 0 cancel, 2 2s are 4, 2 zeros are 0, therefore y minus y naught is equal to 20 meters. Therefore the ball reaches maximum height is 20 meters. Now in second what we have to find out, how long will it be before the ball hits the ground, means we have to find out the time taken. Okay, now we have to find out time taken. Now initially ball starts from this point, means this point is initial position. Now in that case, initial position, okay, initial position y naught is how much? Initial position y naught is, they are giving that 25 meters. Initial position y naught is 25 meters. Okay, now during this process, okay, when the ball is throwing up, it reaches to the ground, therefore final position is y, which is equal to 0. Therefore final position final position y, which is equal to 0 meters. Okay, now then what is the initial velocity? Initial velocity is 20 meter per second. Therefore initial velocity is 20 meter per second. Therefore v naught y, that is initial velocity, is 20 meter per second. Okay, when the ball reaches to a ground, then that is the final velocity, but we don't know the final velocity. Okay, and what we have to find out? We have to find out the time during this process. And do you know that acceleration value is equal to minus, or that is acceleration is equal to 10, acceleration is equal to acceleration due to gravity, that is 10 meter per second. Okay, or that is minus 10 meter per second, or this is acceleration value is equal to minus g value. Okay, now which kinematic equation we want to use? Okay, now there are 4 kinematic equation. Which equation is better, we have to see. Now from that process, this is the Vy. Okay, means that is final velocity. Okay, final velocity, we don't know the final velocity, therefore we can't use this formula. Okay, we don't know the final velocity, therefore we can't use this formula. Now see here, now that second formula y. Okay, y means initial position, y we know, y naught also we know, v naught y, initial velocity is 20 meter per second, we know. Okay, and g value is also we know, therefore we have to prefer here second formula, second kinematic equation. Okay, that is y is equal to y naught plus v naught y minus half gt square. Okay, now using kinematic equation, equation of motion. Okay, which equation? That is y is equal to y naught plus v naught y minus half gt square. We have to find out the time. Then what is the y? Okay, what is the y? Y is the final position 0. Then what is the y naught? Initial position 25 meters plus v naught y. V naught y is 20. Okay, minus half into g value is 10 meter per second into t square. Therefore 0 is equal to 25. Okay, y is equal to y naught plus sorry, here v naught y of t, okay, y is equal to y naught plus v naught y of t, therefore t as it is, therefore 20 plus 20t, now minus half into 10 means 5 t square. Okay, now we have to write this as, that is 20 plus 20t minus 5t square is equal to 0. Now minus 5t we have to write as first, minus 5t plus 20t plus this is 25 plus 25 is equal to 0. Minus 5t square plus 20t plus 25 is equal to 0. Now if you have solved this equation, quadratic equation, then we get a value of, that is time t, Now we have to solve this equation. Now minus 5t minus 5t square plus 20t plus 25 is equal to 0. Now if you have solved this equation, we get a correct answer. Now multiply both side by minus. Okay, multiply both side by minus, then we get minus into minus become 5t square minus 20t minus 25 is equal to 0. Multiply both sides by minus sign. Then you have to easily sort out this equation or divide by 5. Okay, divide equally by 5. Then we get t square minus, means 5 divided by 5, that is t square. Okay, means 5 by 5, 1 into t square. 20 divided by 5, we get 4t. 25 divided by 5, we get 5, means minus 5, which is equal to 0. Now we have to split up that minus 4t such that its addition is equal to multiplication of minus 5, means the addition of two fractions. Okay, then we have to fraction this as minus 5 plus 1. Minus 5 plus 1 is minus 4. Then minus 5 into plus 1, we get minus 5. Therefore, the fractions are minus 5 plus 1. Therefore, t square minus 5 plus 1, okay, into t minus 5, which is equal to 0. Therefore, t square minus 5t plus t minus 5 is equal to 0. Now, from that 2, we have to take which fraction is common, t, into t minus 5. Then plus 1 t minus 5, which is equal to 0. Here t minus 5 is common. Therefore, t minus 5 we are to taking in one bracket and t plus 1, which is equal to 0. Then you know that t minus 5 is equal to 0, okay, or t plus 1 is equal to 0. Then t minus 5 we get t is equal to 5 seconds. Okay, or here t is equal to minus 1 seconds, but this is not valid. Therefore, the time taken to reach the particles to the ground, that time is 5 seconds. Now the answer of this question is time taken to reach the particles or reach the ball to the ground is 5 seconds. Now today we have stopped here. Next point, free fall. An object released near the surface of earth is accelerated in a downward direction under the influence of a gravitational force, or that is force of gravity. The force of gravity or acceleration due to gravity is represented by g. Okay, in that case, if the air resistance is neglected, means we have to neglect the air resistance, then the object is said to be free fall. Means suppose this is the object. Now we have to release that object. Okay, now the object will be moves in a downward direction, means the object will be fall in a downward direction. In that case, some opposing force will be generated, okay, which opposes the motion. That opposing force is known as air resistance. We have to neglect that opposing force. Then the body will be accelerated in a downward direction. In that case, the acceleration due to gravity, you know that acceleration due to gravity is always in a downward direction. In that case, acceleration due to gravity is a is minus g. Then we have to find out equation of motions for free fall. We have to discuss the equation of motion of a freely falling body. Freely falling body means when we have to release a body, then the body can be accelerated, means we have to release the body from the surface. Then the body will be accelerated and moving in a downward direction. In that case, if you have neglect the air resistance, then that motion is called as free fall motion. Now we have to release that object. Now in that case, initial velocity of that object is 0. When we have to release, that initial velocity of that object is 0. In that case, when the body moves in a downward direction, in that case the acceleration is always minus g. Acceleration is always minus of acceleration due to gravity. And suppose here is this is the earth surface. When the body reaches to the earth surface, then the velocity is final velocity. Now we have supposed that the points at which we have to release the body, then that point we have to say that initial points, that is initial position is y naught. Initial position is y naught, which is 0. Okay, and this is the final position y. Now initial position y naught is 0. Okay, and initial velocity v naught is 0. Then from here we have to say this is the origin. Then this is in a downward direction. Therefore this is the final distance. Final distance is y. Okay, and here is the origin. Now we have to determine the equation of motion. Okay, now under a freely falling, the acceleration due to that is acceleration of the body is minus g. Okay, now under freely falling, okay, acceleration a is always minus g. Acceleration a is always minus g. Now this is, we have to say, equation number 1. Now we have three kinematic equation. Now we have to rearrange that three kinematics equation. Now in that case, okay, now in that case, initially at t is equal to 0, okay, means initially the time t is equal to 0, we have to release the ball at t is equal to 0. Initial position y naught is 0 and initial velocity v naught is 0. Initial position y naught is 0 and initial velocity v naught is 0, and we have to release that ball, and we release the object. Okay, when t is equal to 0, the position is y naught is 0, initial velocity v naught is 0, we release the object, then objects accelerated and reaches to the ground with velocity final velocity v in time t. Okay, when we have to release, the object accelerated and reaches to the ground with a velocity v in time delta t. Then the equation of motion becomes, then equation of motion, then you know that three equations of motion. First equation of motion, v is equal to v naught plus at. Now v is the final velocity v is equal to, what is v naught? Okay, v naught is 0, therefore 0. Then what is a is minus g, therefore minus gt. Therefore v is equal to minus gt, which is equal to, g is the acceleration due to gravity. Then what is the value of g? G is 9.8, therefore minus 9.8 into t. Now this is the 2. Okay, now this is the first kinematic equation. Using first equation of motion, we get v is equal to minus gt. Now next, using second kinematic equation. Okay, what is the second kinematic equation? That is y is equal to y naught. Okay, or we know that x is equal to x naught plus v naught t plus half at square. Okay, but this is, the motion is in a vertical direction, therefore it is become y is equal to y naught plus v naught t plus half at square. Okay, what is y and what is y naught? Okay, y and y naught are displacement. Okay, y minus y naught. Then you know that this is the final displacement and y naught is 0. Y naught is 0, v naught is 0. Now we have to put here. Therefore y is equal to y naught 0 plus v naught is 0. 0 into t plus half a, what is the a value? Minus g into t square. Therefore y is equal to 0 plus 0. Okay, this is 0 into t means 0. Therefore 0 plus 0. Okay, then minus g into half into t square means minus g by 2 into t square. Therefore y is equal to minus 1 by 2 into g into t square. Okay, now this gives the relation between y coordinate and time period. Now this is the equation 3. Now using third kinematic equation. What is the third kinematic equation? That is v square is equal to v naught square plus 2a y minus y naught. That is x minus x naught means here y naught minus y naught. Now see here, this is v square means v square is equal to v naught square means 0. V naught is 0, therefore 0 square is 0 plus 2. What is a? A is minus g y minus y naught. Here y naught is also 0. Therefore this is v square is equal to minus 2g into y. Okay, now this is equation 4. Then the kinematic equations becomes, or the equations of motion becomes, v is equal to minus gt. Here y is equal to minus half gt square and v square is equal to minus 2 gt. Okay, now from that, using equation 1 we have to draw the graph between, okay, acceleration versus time graph. Okay, now acceleration versus time graph, and next we have to draw the graph between velocity versus time. Next we have to draw a graph between displacement versus time. Now we have to draw a graph one by one. Now see, acceleration versus acceleration due to gravity. Always acceleration due to gravity is minus g, means whatever the time is there, always acceleration is equal to minus g. Okay, therefore the acceleration versus time graph is looking like at that. Now when the time is positive, okay, time is positive, the acceleration is negative. Okay, acceleration is negative and the value of acceleration is minus g. Okay, minus g means g is equal to 9.8, therefore minus 9.8. Suppose here is 0, here is minus 9.8, then whatever the time for 1 second, okay, for 0 second 9.8, for 1 second it is 9.8, minus 9.8, for 2 seconds it is 9.8, for 3 seconds it is minus 9.8, for 4 seconds it is minus 9.8, means this is the graph between acceleration versus time graph. Now acceleration versus time graph for free fall. Now this is the acceleration versus time graph. Okay, now figure 1, acceleration versus time graph for free falling. Next we have to draw a velocity versus time graph. Now velocity versus time graph. Now you know that v is equal to minus gt. Okay, v is equal to minus gt. Now suppose the time is t is equal to 0 seconds. When time t is equal to 0 seconds, the velocity, okay, the velocity, suppose we have to say this is v0 velocity. Okay, when t is equal to 0 second, velocity v0, we have to put t is equal to 0, then we get velocity is 0. Now t is equal to 1 seconds, then we get first velocity is t is equal to 1 means minus g means minus 9.8. when t is equal to 2 seconds, then velocity v2 is equal to t is equal to 2 means minus 2g, means minus 2 into 9.8, means this is, we get 19.6. when t is equal to 3 seconds, the velocity v3 is equal to minus 3g. Okay, then this is 29.4, minus 29.4 means this is here when time is positive, okay, velocities are negative. Okay, when time is 0, what is the velocity? Velocity is minus. Okay, now suppose here 10, okay, means initially when time is 0, that this is the velocity. Velocity is 0. When time is 1 second, velocity is here 9.8. Okay, now suppose here is 20, 30, 40. When time is 2 seconds, the velocity is, that is 19 minus 19.6. When time is 3 seconds, the velocity is minus 29.4. Means this is when time is 4, okay, velocity is minus 39.2. Okay, means this. If you draw a graph between, okay, velocity versus time graph, we have to draw, then this graph is looking like at that. Okay, this is the graph of velocity versus time. Velocity versus time graph for free fall. For free fall. Okay, now we have to using that final equation. Okay, using that equation, y is equal to minus half gt square, then we get the graph between displacement versus time. The graph between displacement versus time. Now suppose we have to put y is equal to minus half gt square. Okay, now if you have put time t is equal to 0, okay, then it is, we have to put here 0, then we get minus half into g into 0 means that is y naught is 0. We have to put t is equal to 1, okay, we have to put here 1 means minus half into g. Y naught is equal to minus half into g. Okay, now if you have put t is equal to 2, then this is y2 is equal to, okay, t is equal to 2 means 2 square is 4. 4 divided by 2 means minus 2g. Okay, when t is equal to 3, we get y3. T is equal to 3 means 3 square 9. 9 divided by 2 means minus 7.5. Minus 7.5 into g. If you have put t is equal to 4, okay, t is equal to 4 seconds, then y4 is equal to 4 means 16. 16 divided by 2. Okay, now if you have put here 3 means 9. 9 divided by 2. 9 divided by 2 means that is 4.5. Okay, if you have put t is equal to 4, okay, then 4 square 16. 16 divided by 2 means minus 8. Minus 8 into g. Now we have to draw the graph between here t is equal to 1 seconds, 2 seconds, 3 seconds, 4 seconds. Now here is a t. Then displacement is minus. Okay, here y is in downward direction. When t is equal to 0, y is equal to y naught. When t is equal to 1 second, its value is minus g. Means here is suppose 10, means nearly here the point will become. When t is equal to 2, that is y is equal to minus 2g, means here is a 20, means the point is come here. When t is equal to 3, this is suppose 30, 40, 50. Okay, now t is equal to 3, then it is 4.5 g, means that is this graph is nearly this, means the graph is some like at that. Okay, means the graph is looking like at that, means this suddenly the value will be goes in that case, means the value is abruptly increases in a negative direction of y-axis. When time is increases, the displacement value will be abruptly increases. Now this is the graph versus displacement versus time graph. Displacement versus time graph in free fall. Displacement versus time graph in free fall. Okay, now we have to see next some problem based on this chapter. Now see here, stopping distance of a vehicle, that is example 3.6. Stopping distance of vehicle. How to find out the stopping distance? When brakes are applied to a moving vehicle, the distance it traveled before stopping is called as stopping distance. Means when you have suddenly applied a brake on a vehicles, then after traveling some distance the vehicle can be stopped, then that much distance, means when you have start to applying a brakes on a vehicle, then from that point to the stopping point, whatever distance is there, that distance is known as stopping distance. It is an important factor for a road safety and depends on the initial velocity v0 and braking capacity or deceleration minus g, that is caused by the braking. Derive an expression for stopping distance of a vehicle in terms of v0 and a. We have to derive the expression for stopping distance. Now we have to consider that, okay, now we have to consider that this is the road. Now initially the vehicle at this point, this is the x0 position. Initially the vehicle is at x0. Now we have to and vehicle is at x0 moving with the velocity v0. Initially the vehicle is at position x0 moving with the velocity v0. Now we have to suddenly apply the brake. Then after that, okay, then after that it can travel some distance and here the vehicles can be stopped. Okay, means this is the final position x. Now here the vehicle can be stopped and this is the final velocity. Now vehicle will be stopped, means the final velocity becomes 0 meter per second. Then the distance between initial position is the position at which we have to start to apply the brake, and final position where the vehicle can be stopped. Okay, now this distance we have say as a ds. Okay, now write down all that explanation in your words. Okay, now initially consider initially vehicles is at position x0, moves with the velocity v0. Then we apply brakes on a vehicle. Then vehicles travels a distance that distance we have to say ds, travels the distance ds, and then it stops. Okay, where the vehicles will be stops means at a position x. Okay, means at a position x the vehicles become stops, means here final velocity is 0 meter per second and the stopping distance is ds. Okay, now initial velocity is v0 and stopping distance is ds and final velocity is 0. Okay, now in that case the acceleration is a. Okay, in that case the acceleration is a. Then we have to determine the relation between initial velocity, acceleration and stopping distance. Now we have three kinematic equation, then which kinematic equation is better to use? Now do you know that we have three kinematic equation, that is v is equal to v naught plus at. Okay, second, x is equal to x naught plus v naught t plus half at square. Okay, now third equation, v square is equal to v naught square plus 2a x minus x naught. Now which equation here is better? Now this is final velocity we know, initial velocity you know, acceleration you know. Okay, what we have to find out? We have to find out a stopping distance. Okay, stopping distance means x minus x naught. Stopping distance is x minus x naught. We have to find out. Here in that equation there is no x minus x naught, therefore we can't use here x, and this is x minus, means we maybe use this, or here is x minus x naught. Okay, now here x minus x naught we have to find out. Okay, now here x minus x naught we have to find out. Then which equation is better? Okay, now here initial velocity you know, but you don't know the time. Okay, here is also time factor. Okay, therefore we can't use this second equation. But third, we know initial velocity, we know final velocity, and you also know the acceleration. Therefore, equation 3 can be used to determine the stopping distance. Therefore, using third kinematic equation, we can determine the stopping distance. Okay, now here acceleration is a. Okay, now acceleration, here acceleration of vehicle is a. Acceleration is a. Here in that given that acceleration or deceleration is minus a is given, then we have to find out the stopping distance. Now using kinematic equation or using equation of motion. Using equation of motion, which equation? V square is equal to v naught square plus 2a x minus x naught. Now you know that x minus x naught means stopping distance. Then what is the final velocity? Final velocity is same, v square. Okay, sorry, final velocity is 0. Here final velocity is 0. Therefore 0 is equal to initial velocity is v naught square plus 2a x minus x naught means stopping distance ds. X minus x naught is stopping distance ds. Therefore 0 is equal to v square plus 2a into ds. Okay, now also we have to write this as v square plus 2a into d suffix s, which is equal to 0, where ds is the stopping distance. Now we have to find out ds. Therefore we have to shift minus v naught square to the right, then it is become 2a into ds is equal to minus v naught square. Okay, now we have to find out ds. Therefore ds is equal to minus v naught square divided by 2a. Now this is the stopping distance. Okay, this equation gives stopping distance. Stopping distance. This equation gives stopping distance, and stopping distance is the square of the initial velocity. Means if the velocity will be more, then stopping distance will be more, and it is inversely proportional to the acceleration. Okay, and if the velocity increases doubly, means 2 times the velocity will be increases, then stopping distance increases 4 times. If the initial velocity increases 3 times, okay, for same acceleration, the stopping distance will be increases 9 times. Okay, 9 times to that of same acceleration. Okay, means stopping distance is directly proportional to the initial velocity square. Okay, and inversely proportional to the acceleration. Okay, now this is the about stopping distance.